morning, everyone. I'm Jessie. I teach at Human Breathing Yoga Studio the first and second Sunday of each month. Happy Easter, and thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to start with a few moments of centering, taking time to shut out the outside world. So Easter is all about rebirth, so I thought we'd start in embryo pose. Embryo pose is child's pose with our arms at our sides. So we're just going to come back into a low kneel, hips towards our heels, child's pose, forehead to the floor, arms out in front, embryo pose, same thing with our arms at our sides. Our hips are pressing back towards our heels and our shoulders are nice and relaxed. So we're going to come to a comfortable embryo pose. Ideally, our forehead is on the floor or in contact with something. That's our third eye. It's a signal to our body when we put pressure on it to relax and release. And if you prefer not to be in embryo pose or child's pose today, any comfortable seated pose or reclined pose is fine. We're just going to settle in here, close your eyes, and begin to take a few soft, full, deep breaths. We're going to try to inhale and exhale through your nose, filling your belly, ribs, chest with air on the inhale, and then allowing your chest, ribs, belly to relax and let go on the exhale. Just try to keep your breath soft, full, and deep. If at any time during our practice today or during life in general, you find yourself struggling, take a step back, practice your pranayama, yoga breath. Give yourself permission to be present here in this time and this space. Now slowly begin to bring your attention back to your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Once again, concentrating on filling your belly, ribs, chest with air on the inhale, and then allowing your chest, ribs, belly to relax and let go on the exhale. Then here, bring your attention to your body. Do a body scan, head to toe, toe to head. Check in, see how you're feeling. Notice if you have any areas of tension or pain, anything you need to be cautious of or work on today. You can also scan through your thoughts and try to set aside any worries or concerns for this hour. Most of what we worry about never happens. And if you like, you can set a goal or an intention for your practice today. For me, in these times, it's been each day I automatically get healthier and healthier. you're in child's pose or embryo pose, you're going to slowly roll up into a low kneel. Gently transition into a seated pose. If you're in a reclined or savasana pose, you're going to take some time rolling to one side and gently making your way up to a seated pose. I think I have a visitor. This is Zenesis. So we're going to start with a little halo stretch, just nice and easy. We're going to inhale our arms up over our head, interlace our fingers with our palms facing down, shoulders down and away from our ears, and we're just going to draw some circles above our head. These could be fast or slow, big or small circles. You can let your waist get involved here, kind of hula hooping, or you can just isolate your arms, whatever feels good. Now we're going to switch directions. Same thing, this is a halo stretch, just nice and easy. Good, we're going to come to stillness. We're going to press our palms up towards the ceiling, shoulders away from our ears. We're going to exhale and twist to your left. You can have a hand in front and behind, or you can use your right hand on the outside of your left knee. You can look over your shoulder if that feels good. Good. We're going to inhale back to center, arms up over our head. We're going to press our palms towards the ceiling, shoulders down and away from our ears. And we're going to exhale and twist to your right. Again, hand in front and behind, or you can use your left hand on the outside of your right knee, maybe looking over your right shoulder if that feels good. Good. We're going to untwist back to center. We're going to do a few arm stretches here. I mirror, so you guys are going to lift your left arm up. You're going to bring your arm across the front of your body. You can use your hand or your forearm to apply a little bit of pressure, keeping our shoulders away from our ears. And in this pose and throughout our whole practice, you never want to be in pain. So if you're feeling pain, just back off, modify. Whatever feels right in your body is right for this class today. You can rotate this wrist if that feels good. You can switch directions. You can point and flex. Good. We're going to bring our hands to stone, so we're going to take the same left arm into the air. We're going to bend our elbow with our hand behind our back. And we're going to apply a little pressure with our right hand. Shoulders, try to keep them down and away from your ears. If you like, you can add a little side stretch over to your right. Meow. Meow. Are you yogaing with us, Zenesis? Good. We're going to inhale back to center. Release our arms down. And you're kind of in the way. We're going to change up the cross of our legs. So whichever one is in front or on top, we're just going to switch that up. The kind of yoga I teach, Hatha yoga, there's balance in everything. So whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. So we're going to repeat those arm stretches on the opposite side. So you guys are going to raise your right arm up, bring it across the front of your body. You can use your hand or your forearm to apply a little bit of pressure. Shoulders down and away from our ears. You can rotate your wrist here if that feels good. Just nice and easy. You can switch directions. Point and flex. Shake it out. We're going to release this arm. We're going to raise it into the air, bending our right elbow with our hand behind our back. You can hold on to that elbow with your opposite hand. Apply a little bit of pressure. Try to keep your shoulders down. Maybe add a little side stretch. Good. We're going to come back to center. Exhale, arms down. We're just going to do a little wrist stretch here. So we're going to bring the back of our palms together, fingers pointing down, and we're going to lower our elbows. Good. We spend a lot of time in yoga and in life pushing our hands back in that direction, so we're just balancing that out. Nice and easy. Shoulders away from our ears. If you're able to join me last Sunday, Today's class will build on last Sunday's, and if you weren't able to join me, that's fine. No experience necessary. Shake them out a little bit. Good, and then from here, we're gonna transition into table. So we're gonna come onto our hands and our knees with our wrists and shoulders in alignment, knees and hips in alignment. Good. And then we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do empty peanut butter jar. This is one of my favorites. It reminds us that we don't have to be so serious even in yoga. So you imagine that you're in an almost empty peanut butter jar, as we do. And then we're using our body to scrape out the last bit of peanut butter. So maybe you're going from side to side. Maybe you're doing little dips, forward and back. Just any kind of movement here. Just anything that feels right. Just loosening our spine, our shoulders, our hips. There's no right or wrong. Just listen to your body. Good. And then we're going to come to stillness here. We're going to do a little calf stretch. So we're going to curl our right toes under. We're going to press our right heel back with our right knee off the floor. We're going to press into our palms and shift our weight back until you find your best stretch. So this is great if you're doing a lot of walking or running. Anytime your calves get a little tight. My leg is pretty straight, but maybe yours feels better with a bent knee. That's fine here as well. Just whatever feels good. Shifting our weight back, finding your best stretch. Then we're going to release this a little bit. We're going to roll to the big toe side of our right foot. We're going to see if we can bring our right leg out to the right side. You could be on the big toe side of your right foot, or you can let your ankle roll down. Then from here, we're going to inhale our right arm up and around for a twist. So here you can stack your arms one on top of the other. Your drishti or your gaze could follow your fingertips, or you can extend this and open even further. Good, we're going to take this right into a thread the needle. So if you're familiar with that, we're going to be bringing our right knee next to our left, and we're scooping this right arm down. So bringing that knee in, scooping, our palm is facing up. We're going to slide our right arm under our left, right shoulder inside of the head to the mat. And then anything you'd like to do with your left hand is fine. It could be on the mat, it could be in the air, it could be behind your back. Whatever feels good. Just try to listen to your body, close your eyes, see what you need today. And then we're going to transition back into table. And we're going to repeat that little series on the left side. So we're going to start with that calf stretch. We're going to curl our left toes under, press our left heel back. And then press into our palms and shift our weight till you find your best stretch. Again, your leg could be straight here, your knee could be bent. Whatever feels good in your body is fine. A few breaths. Good. One more breath, and we're going to release this stretch a little. We're going to roll to the big toe side of that left foot and see if we can slide that left leg out to the left side. You could be on the big toe side of your left foot, or you can let that foot round down. We're going to add a little twist here. So we're going to inhale our left arm up and around for a twist. You might be stacking your arms one on top of the other, or extending this twist, opening that left arm even further. Your drishti or your gaze could follow your fingers. Or often, I have some neck issues, so I like to keep my head in a neutral pose. We're going to take this to thread the needle. So we're going to bring our left knee next to our right. We're scooping this left hand down, palm faces up, and our left arm is sliding under our right. Left shoulder inside of the head to the mat. And then whatever you'd like to do with the supporting hand is fine. Your right hand could be on the mat, in the air, behind your back. Listen to your body. Good. And then from here, we're going to transition back into table. And from table, we're going to curl our toes under, straighten our legs, and then back into our first down dog of the day. Spending some time here, moving, stretching, walking the dog, whatever feels right. Maybe bending first one knee and then the other, pedaling your legs. Maybe coming up on all 10 toes, maybe pushing into your heels and rolling your inner elbows towards each other. Whatever feels right here. You hang out in down dog for a moment. I'm just gonna switch up the music. I'm not sure if you can hear this or not, but it's helping me. Nice, full, deep breaths always in our down dog and any pose. One more breath. And then we're gonna come back down into table. We're gonna roll to a low kneel. We're gonna tuck our toes under and come into a tall kneel. These are called camel lean backs. So we kind of have Frankenstein arms here, shoulders away from our ears. On our exhale, we're just gonna lean back. And inhale, come back forward. Lean back and forward. We're doing about 10 of these. You can move at your own pace, moving with your breath. I'm feeling this in my quads, my hips. I'm getting a little arch heel stretch here, like that plantar fasciitis area, which is a problem spot for a lot of us. A few more, just at your own pace, moving with your breath. Good. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. Then we're going to come back up. We're going to come into puppy. So puppy is just like child's pose with our bottoms in the air. It's working towards rabbit pose that we're going to be doing a little bit later on. Our goal here is to have a right angle in our legs. So our bottoms are in the air. You can kind of walk your hands forward for this. So we're bringing our hands to the mat, walking our arms forward, bottoms in the air, forehead to the floor just for a moment. Good. One more breath in our puppy pose. And then we're going to make our way to our elbows. Your forearms could be parallel, or you can bring your hands together, and we're going to come into dolphin. So we're going to curl our toes under, straighten our legs, and come into dolphin. In dolphin, our head is off the mat. It's a great preparation for arm stands or any kind of handstands. It helps us learn to put pressure on our arms, support our weight. So I like to rock forward and back a little. Good, nice and easy. Good, one more breath here. Then we're going to drop down into table. Hips towards our heels. And we're just going to do one more little arm stretch. We're going to bend our elbows, hands to our shoulders, hips towards our heels, forehead towards the floor. Good. Then we're going to release our arms, coming back into table. We're going to curl our toes under, straighten our legs, and come back into down dog. A few breaths here. And just remember, if you're in down dog and you need a bit of a break, you can always come to child's pose or table pose or modify in any way for your body. Beautiful. Then from here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet until we're in a ragdoll. So any arm position you like here is fine. They could be dangling, you could fold your arms. And we're just taking this opportunity to shake out the last bit of tension. So you can let your arms and hips sway from side to side, forward and back. You can shake out your head, your neck, your shoulders. You can bend your knees and do a little bounce. Whatever feels good here. Listen to your body. Imagine tension and stress just draining away from you. You don't need it, let it go. Keeping your breath soft, full, and deep. Good, one more breath. We're going to put a little bend in our knees. We're going to slowly roll up to standing. Up on the inhale and pausing in Tadasana, mountain pose for a moment. Taking a breath, coming back to center. Close your eyes. Check in, see how you're feeling. A little better, a little worse than when we started. Just notice. You can remind yourself of a goal or an intention if you set one at the beginning of class. Perhaps it's each day I automatically get healthier and healthier. And then we're going to open our eyes and we're going to come to a comfortable spot on our mat. Your hips or your feet can be any distance you like. I like mine a little wider than my hips. We're going to do empty coat sleeves, which again is another little fun asana. It's also good to kind of get us energized for the flow portion of class. So any comfortable stance here is fine. Your arms are loose, or just swinging your arms from side to side. You can kind of visualize You're wearing a jacket, your arms aren't in the sleeves, and you just want to let them flop around. You can lift your toes if you like, or your heels, or a little bit of both. Again, just nice and easy. You could go fast or slow here. I like to move a little faster, bring a little bit of energy for the next portion of class. And then we're gonna wind ourselves back down. We're gonna come back to Tadasana. And we're gonna come towards the back end of our mat. So we're gonna start our flow here. We're gonna start with a little neck stretch. Then we're gonna be moving into a balance, and then we'll be stepping forward out of the balance. Some days that doesn't look pretty. Some days it's more challenging than others. All of that is fine. So we're gonna start here with our feet towards the edges of our mat. Hands together in prayer position. Let's just take a nice full deep breath here to start. Beautiful. Now we're gonna inhale our arms up, interlace our fingers, hands behind our head. We're gonna keep our elbows back. We're gonna pivot a little to the right and then fold forward out over our right leg. So this should be a hamstring stretch for our right leg, a little neck release. Good, one more breath. We're gonna release our arms, come to center, inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Interlace our fingers, hands behind our head, pivot to the left, and fold forward. Reaching out with your torso as you come down. Letting your elbows relax. A little bit of pressure. Again, listen to your body. Back off if there's pain. Try not to lock out your left knee. We're going to release our arms back to center. Inhale and come up. Good. Hands together in prayer position at heart center. We're going to bring our feet back to hips distance apart, and we're going to come into a Shiva twist for a balance. So we're going to let all of our weight come into our right foot. You can come up on your left toes, or you can start to bend your left knee. We're trying to get our left thigh parallel to the floor, pointing our toes down. Once you have that going on, we're going to add goalpost or goddess arms. And then we're going to try to twist towards the knee that's raised, so towards the left. The trick with this is we want our left knee pointed forward, so we're not twisting everything over to the side. And again, it's okay if you're struggling. Good. We're going to bring our torso back to center. We're going to step forward with that left foot, circling our arms, up on our back toes. We're going to sink into a crescent lunge. So in our crescent lunge, as with our warriors, we always want to make sure that our knee isn't popping out over our toes, that it's safely over our ankle. We're up on our back toes for this one. We're opening up this hip flexor. And over time, we want to keep our knee over our ankle while lengthening our stance to ultimately bring that front thigh parallel to the floor. I have a ways to go. That's okay. Good. We're going to take this to warrior one. So our back heel is going to rotate down to the mat. Any arms you like in warrior here are fine. I'm keeping my index fingers up. We're going to come into Kundalini Archer pose. So again, our goal here is to keep sinking into that front knee. So we're going to lower our arms. We're going to release. We're going to take the first two fingers of our right hand and imagine that we're opening, pulling an arrow back on a bow. This is a variation of warrior two. Our front knee is still over our ankle. Our hips and torso are open in this one. Shoulders away from our ears. Still sinking into our front knee. Then from here, we're going to inhale and lift our left hand as we're doing a little reverse here towards our back leg. Your front fingers can kind of point where the ceiling and wall meet. Your drishti follows those fingers. Still sinking into our front knee. We're going to release our right hand. Left fingers to the ceiling or to the wall behind. This is just a reverse or revolved warrior two. Good. One more breath. We're going to bring our hands back to warrior two, straighten out our front leg, and we're going to come into an unsupported triangle. So we're going to interlace our fingers, index fingers up, shoulders away from our ears. Both legs are straight. We're going to do a little side stretch out over that straight front leg. So we just don't have that supporting hand, but if you prefer to have that, that's fine. Good. One more breath. We're going to inhale our torso up. Let's just release our arms for now. We're gonna turn like we're gonna start walking forward. I have to adjust my feet. You might need to do that as well. We're gonna come into pyramid here. Arms up, exhale and fold forward out over that straight front leg. Your hands could be above your knee, reaching towards the floor or on the floor. Good, if you wanna go a little deeper here, you can reach both hands back towards your right leg for a bind. Good. One more breath. We're gonna release our hands to the mat, either side of and slightly in front of our left foot, and we're gonna step into a standing split. So this should be a little familiar if you were here last week with me. Good, we're just raising that right leg up. Good, one more breath. Little bend in our left knee to a low lunge. We're gonna chaturanga here. We can meet up at down dog, or you can follow along with me in plank. High push-up position. Slowly lower down. Drop your knees whenever you need to. Hands under your shoulders. Baby cobra, full cobra. Up dog, whatever you like here. In my practice, I like to hold cobra a little bit longer. And that's all fine because we have time to catch up in down dog. We're going to take a few recovery breaths here. Then we're going to drop our knees. We're going to come through a rolling child's pose. Again, we did this last week. We're just kind of adding on to it. So hips towards our heels, low kneel, inhale into a tall kneel, shoulders away from our ears. Good. And then we're going to step our left foot forward like proposal pose. So last week, we brought our same hand to our same heel for this camel variation. This week, we're going to try opposite hands. So we're going to bring our left hand behind us. It's reaching towards our right heel. If you need a couple extra inches there, just curl your toes under. Sometimes finding your heel is the hard part. If you want to go a little deeper, you can straighten out that front leg. It's okay if you're struggling. I'm struggling a little bit here. Good. One more breath. We're going to inhale our body up, and we're going to come into a kneeling pyramid. So we're going to release the top of our foot, hands on either side of that straight front leg. Good. Then we're going to start to let that front leg slide forward like monkey. This is how you get into a split. Just nice and easy. Good. One more breath. And we're going to try to raise this left leg all the way up into a three-legged down dog. So we're going to bring it back in, curl our right toes under, left leg comes up, take a breath, three-legged down dog. Then we're going to walk our hands back towards our right foot in a standing split. We're going to bring both feet to the mat, standing forward fold. We're going to inhale, look up, exhale, fold a little deeper. Reverse swan dive, all the way back up to standing. And exhale. Hands down. Good, so we're gonna repeat the same thing on the other side. Sorry, I just need a little sip of water here. We're starting with that forward fold neck stretch. So we're bringing our feet towards the edges of our mat. Hands together in prayer position at heart center. And we're just going to take that nice full deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. There we go. Then we're going to inhale our arms up. Interlace our fingers. Hands behind our head. Pivot to the left. Fold forward. Just try to relax and let go into the forward fold. We're really straightening out and stretching our left hamstring here, a little bit of a neck stretch. We're going to release our hands, come back to center. Inhale, roll all the way back up to standing. Inhale, arms up. Interlace our fingers, hands behind our head. Pivot and fold forward out over that right straight leg. Good. We're going to release our hands, come back to center. Inhale and come all the way back up. We're going to bring our feet together not together, I'm sorry, hips distance apart. And then here we're gonna let our weight come into our left foot. Your hands can be in prayer position. I like to start off with mine on my hips. Weight into our left foot, and we're lifting that right leg up. So you could be on your right toes, you can still add the twist, you can raise your leg a little, or with your front thigh parallel to the floor, you can point your toes down. You can add those goalpost arms, those goddess arms. And we're gonna add a twist. We're twisting towards the knee that's in the air, so we're twisting towards the right. And again, this is just an upper body twist, so we're keeping our right knee pointed forward. We're just twisting with this upper body. Again, doesn't have to be pretty. Good, we're gonna come back to center. We're gonna try to step forward with that right foot, up on our left toes, circling our arms into a crescent lunge. Shoulders away from our ears. Our pelvis is tucked under, our knee is safely over our ankle, and we're working towards bringing that front thigh parallel to the mat. Good. One more breath, and we're gonna take this to warrior one. So we're gonna let our back heel rotate down to the mat. We're still sinking into that front knee. And again, any hands here you like are fine. We're gonna lower our arms. We're gonna take the first two fingers of our left hand and imagine we're pulling an arrow back on a bow. This is Kundalini Archer pose. It's a variation of warrior two. We're still sinking into that front knee. Shoulders are away from our ears. Hips and torso are open. Good. Then we're gonna inhale, add a little crunch towards our back leg, lifting our right arm up so our fingers are pointing towards where the ceiling and wall meet. Drishti follows those fingers, and we all probably stood up a little, try to sink back down. Good, one more breath. We're gonna release our left hand, right fingers towards the ceiling or to the wall behind us, still sinking into our front knee. This is just a revolved or reverse warrior. Still sinking into our front knee. Good, we're gonna inhale, press down to our front heel, straighten that front leg, interlace our fingers, then a little unsupported triangle pose. So we're reaching out with our upper body, we're turning our torso up, and the only difference is we don't have a supporting hand, so it's using a little bit more core strength for us here. But if you want to drop a hand for the support, that's also fine. We're gonna inhale our upper body up, turn like we're gonna start walking. I always have to adjust my feet for that, and then pyramid. So again, we're reaching out with our upper body, hinging from our hips, hands above the knee with a bent knee, hands reaching towards the floor or on the floor. Our weight is shifted back. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can bring both hands to the inside of that right leg and reach back towards your left leg. That's in addition, a variation of what we did last week. Good, one more breath, and we're gonna take this to a standing split. So we're just transitioning our weight to our right foot, lifting our left leg up. It's okay if it takes a couple steps to get there. This is just a great hamstring stretch for our right leg. And stretching our hamstrings can help with lower back pain. We're gonna take this to a low lunge. So we wanna make sure our right knee is a little soft. We're gonna lower our left toes, one hand on either side of our front foot, and our knee is safely over our ankle. And then chaturanga at your own pace, or follow along with me in plank, high push-up position. Slowly lower down. Drop your knees when you need to. Baby cobra, full cobra, or up dog. I like to hold my cobra a little bit longer. That's what feels right for me. And that's fine, because we all have time to meet in down dog. Because I hold my cobra for so long, I kind of have to do a little table pose to curl my toes under to come into down dog. And that's okay. Good. We're going to come down into table, that rolling child's pose. Release the top of our feet. We're going to roll into a low kneel. Inhale into a tall kneel, that's thunderbolt pose. And then we're going to bring our right foot forward. Good, like proposal pose. And then we're going to do that camel variation. So again, last week we did same hand to same heel. You can do that again, or you can try a more challenging pose, bringing your opposite hand. So it would be our right hand to our left heel. It's okay if you're just reaching towards your heel. You can curl your toes under if you need a little extra height there. You can also straighten out your front leg. This. Good, one more breath. We're gonna inhale our torso up. Release the top of your foot to the mat if it's not already. This is like a kneeling pyramid, so we're gonna bring our hands on either side of our front foot. And you can stay there or you can slide forward. This is how we get into monkey pose or a full split. I have a ways to go, but I can still benefit from this stretch. Good. One more breath. And then we're gonna try to take this right leg all the way up into a three-legged down dog. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty. We're gonna, oh, I'm bringing my mat with me. You can kind of transition through a table, left toes under, right leg into the air. Then from here, we're gonna walk our hands back towards our left foot for that standing split. We're gonna bring both feet to the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Reverse swan dive all the way back up to standing. And exhale, hands down. Beautiful. Good, so now we're gonna come up towards the top end of our mat. We're gonna make our way to a belly via like a sun salutation. Just nice and easy. Again, take that full deep breath here. Exhale. Then we're gonna inhale our arms up, tracing the sun. Let's do a little mini back bend here. Then exhale, fold forward, reaching out as you come down, lengthen your spine. Fingertips to the floor or to your legs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Then step, walk, or hop into plank, high push-up position. Slowly lower down for a chaturanga. Just at your own pace, moving with your breath. Good. One more breath here. Down dog, if you're not already there. Few breaths. Then from our down dog, we're gonna come down to our forearms, back to dolphin. Again, our head is off the mat, and we wanna practice putting a little bit more weight on our arms. We're gonna slide our feet back into a forearm plank. Just take a breath here. Then we're gonna come down to our belly, little Sphinx pose. Take a little breath. Let me just check our time. So from here, we're gonna do a half bow pose. So we're gonna start with our right side. So we're gonna bend our right knee, reach back for our right foot with our right hand. You could be using a strap here. You could be reaching towards your foot or hold onto your foot. If you're pretty comfortable, we're gonna push our foot into our hand and exaggerate that back bend. If you wanna go further, you can extend your left arm and lift your left leg. Good. Take a breath. We're gonna come back into Sphinx pose. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So again, bending our left knee, reaching back for our left foot with our left hand, or strap, pushing your foot into your hand, arching your back. You can stay there, or you can raise your right arm and the right leg. Our neck is in a neutral position, so my drishti, your gaze, is towards the front edge of my mat. Good, one more breath. We're gonna come back into Sphinx. Take a breath. And then we're gonna come back into a full bow pose if you like. We're gonna bend both knees, feet in the air. We're gonna reach back for our feet with our hands, maybe holding on to our feet. Maybe exaggerating, pushing our feet into our hands and arching up. Maybe rocking forward and back. I can't talk and rock forward and back, so I'm gonna stay right here. Good. One more breath. We're gonna release the top of our feet, hands under our shoulders, and push back into child's pose. Just reversing those back bends with a little forward fold, forehead towards the floor. Take a few breaths. Good. Then we're gonna roll up to a low kneel. And you can either come into puppy or you can come into rabbit pose. Obviously rabbit pose because it's Easter. So again, we're looking for that right angle in our legs. And then we get into puppy, and then we start to bring our head closer to our legs as close as we can, keeping our bottom in the air, the right angle in our legs, and then ultimately reaching back towards our heels. This is not one of my best poses, but that's okay. I'm a work in progress too. So just do what you can. So we're kind of coming into table. We'll start off with puppy. So our arms are out in front, forehead to the floor. You're welcome to stay here. This is a nice restful pose. It's a nice release for our shoulders. Or if you want to come into rabbit, that's a great back stretch. So what you do is I come up to my hands, tuck my chin under, and bring my forehead as close as I can to my thighs. Again, I have a ways to go, so some of you are going to be in this much deeper than I am. Bottoms in the air, and then our hands reaching back towards our heels. So over time, we're just constantly moving our head closer, lifting our bottom. That's what we're working towards. Good. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly come out of rabbit. We're going to have a seat in staff pose, Dadasana. Good contact with our sits bones. Legs out in front, military tuck to our chin. We're just going to do a regular old forward fold from here. So we're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, reach forward as you come down. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the whole time you're coming down. Then let your hands come down and your head and shoulders relax. Again, your hands could be anywhere. And you're still getting those benefits, so don't worry if you can't touch your feet. Just visualize inhaling and lengthening your body. Exhaling and folding a little deeper. Good. We're going to do one more breath. We're going to slowly roll up. We're going to come back in a modified fish pose. So balancing out that forward fold with a back bend. We're going to bring our hands next to our hips with our fingers pointing towards our toes. We're going to roll back on our elbows. We're pressing into our elbows, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Opening our heart chakra is the goal here. So you can keep your head up, or you can let it come back. Opening up your throat chakra, or you can come all the way back to the top of your head, rest on the floor. Take a breath or two. One more, and then our next exhale, we're coming all the way down to the mat. We're gonna bring both knees in towards our chest for a hug. We're gonna rock a little bit from side to side. Good, massaging your spine. Good, one more breath. We're gonna come to stillness here. We're gonna keep this right knee in towards our chest. You can extend your left leg, or you can bend your left knee with your left foot on the floor. Do what's kindest to your back. We're squeezing this knee in on the exhale. You can rotate your ankle here if that feels good. Drawing circles with your toes. You can switch directions. You can point and flex. Good, one more breath. We're going to bring our ankle to stillness. We're going to straighten out our right leg and bring our straight right leg in towards our chest. The goal here is to really take the bend out of our knee. We want our leg as straight as possible so that we're stretching those hamstrings. So you just hold wherever's comfortable. You could also use a strap or a belt or a tie over your foot to help with this stretch. Squeezing in on the exhale. If you want to go a little deeper, you can push your heel towards the ceiling, lengthening those hamstrings. So again, hamstring stretches are great for lower back pain. If you're trying to change your body, make a change, something that's stiff or sore and you need to stretch it, you want to hold the stretch for at least 30 seconds. That's long enough for our body to go, oh, I can relax and let go here. So keep that in mind. We're going to do one more breath. And then we're going to open that right leg out to the right side. So you can bend your knee and make a little shelf for your thigh, or you can reach out for your toe. Make any adjustments here that you like. Just open that hip up. Try to keep both hips on the mat. I put my left hand on my left hip. It reminds me not to tip over to the right. Good. We're going to inhale that leg back to center, switch hands, and then bring that right leg across our body for a twist. Your leg could be straight or your knee could be bent. If you have that sciatic nerve pain, bend your knee, kind of bring it up a little bit closer to your head as you're in this twist. Look out over your opposite shoulder if that feels good. Good. One more breath.
We're gonna inhale everything back to center. Straight right leg in towards our chest one more time. Again, holding wherever is comfortable. Maybe pulling your toes back and pushing your heel towards the ceiling. Maybe lifting your head and shoulders off the mat towards your leg, just adding that little bit of body weight to help ease you in a little deeper. If you have sandbags, that works here as well. We're gonna do one more breath. Then we're gonna relax our head and shoulders, release our legs, and just for a moment here, straighten out both legs. See if you can tell which side we've stretched. This is always a good illustration of what yoga can do for your body. My right leg feels 3 inches longer than my left. But of course, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna bring our left knee in towards our chest, squeeze in on the exhale. Maybe rotate your ankle if that feels good. Drawing circles with your toes. You can switch directions. You can point and flex. We'll bring our ankle to stillness, and we're going to straighten that left leg. Straight left leg in towards our chest. Again, you can have a strap here, but you really want to take the bend out of your knee, so hold your leg wherever is comfortable. If you want to go a little deeper, pull your toes back and push your heel towards the ceiling. If you're feeling tightness or tension anywhere, focus your breath into those areas. Imagine it flowing into those muscles, relaxing and releasing your muscles with your exhale. Good. We're going to take this left leg out to the left side. Again, you can make a little shelf to hold your leg. You can bring your hand to your toe or your foot. Again, you can use a strap here. I'm a little close to the wall for this one. That's okay. Good. I'm really feeling this on my whole inner leg. Good. One more breath. We're going to bring our left leg back to center and then across our body for a twist. If you want to really stretch out that sciatic nerve pain area, bend your knee and bring it closer to your head. You can straighten your leg here. Anything that feels good, just listen to your body. Good. One more breath. And bring everything back to center. Straight left leg in towards our chest one more time. Again, taking the bend out of our knee. Maybe pulling our toes back and pushing our heel towards the ceiling. Maybe lifting our head and shoulders off the mat, adding that little bit of weight into the stretch. When I lift my head and shoulders up, I automatically also lift my right leg. Not necessary, but for some reason it feels right for me. Good. One more breath. We're going to relax and release everything to the mat. So again, it's Easter, so we're honoring that with, we're going to do egg pose. And we're going to squeeze in tension on our whole body. We're going to squeeze our arms, everything, and then we're going to do an audible exhale, and we're going to come out into a starfish. Just be careful if, like me, you have too much stuff close, you can hit the wall. We're going to do that 3 times. So inhale, knees in towards our chest, heads off the mat, squeeze, 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 and egg pose, starfish. I do that. Good. Inhale, squeeze, 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 exhale, starfish. Last one. Inhale, squeeze, 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 exhale, starfish. Good. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to take about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes to finish out your practice. So again, human breathing always has great headstands or handstands. Maybe you need an inversion. Maybe you feel like your practice is incomplete without a shoulder stand. I don't teach those in classes where I don't have regular students. So that's fine. You can do whatever you like here. Maybe you just feel like you need some relaxation and you want to do legs up the wall. You just slide in with your bottom close. Put your legs up the wall. You're still getting all those inversion benefits, but it's relaxing. If you have like restless leg syndrome, this is a really good pose for that. It's good for insomnia. Shoulders are away from your ears. Maybe a little tuck with your shoulder blades. A little tuck with your chin. Again, now is your time. It's also a good time if you need any prep for Savasana, like the restroom or socks or a blanket, maybe something to cover your eyes with. At Human Breathing, there's lovely eye pillows for your eyes. In a traditional hatha yoga class, you cover your eyes. Soft, full, deep breaths. And if you need to do another pose, a counter pose, or if you need to do something on the opposite side, now is a good time for that. I'm going to change up our music here. Sorry for the abrupt change. And just about 30 seconds more. So again, counter pose, any preparation that you'd like to do before relaxation. And while we're finishing out our practice, I'm just going to let you know what we're doing for our relaxation today, our meditation. This is a counting meditation. It's self-guided. You can be in any comfortable pose, savasana, seated pose, legs up the wall, whatever you like. And this is a great one to do if you're feeling tense about anything. If you have a fear, like maybe you need an MRI and you're claustrophobic, you can kind of calm yourself with this meditation. I do it often when I'm trying to sleep. It's just nice and easy one to remember. So now we're going to take some time to make our way into a savasana pose, corpse pose, seated meditation pose, whatever you like. Any pose is fine for this. But if you're coming to a traditional savasana pose, your knees could be bent with your feet on the floor, or your legs could be extended. If you're extending your legs, perhaps you'd like to bring your heels to the edges of the mat and let your feet flop open. Again, traditionally in a hatha yoga class, our arms are at our sides, our hands are lower than our heart, and our palms are facing up in a gesture that's open and receptive. You can press into your elbows to tuck your shoulder blades under. You can tip your chin so your spine is nice and long. So whatever pose you're in, settle in, close your eyes, return your attention to your breath. Once again, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, filling your belly, ribs, chest with air on the inhale, and then allowing your chest, ribs, belly to relax and let go on the exhale. Once again, letting anything from the outside world drift away. Giving yourself that permission to be present for this time in this space. If you set a goal or an intention for class, you can remind yourself of that here. Perhaps it was each day I automatically get healthier and healthier. And then make any adjustments you need to allow you to relax, let go completely, and breathe. And then here we're going to take a nice full deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax, release, mentally think 12. Then take another nice full deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, relax, release a little bit further, mentally think 11. And continue on in this way, slowly counting backwards, relaxing and releasing with each breath out. If you find you've come to 0 and your mind or body are still racing, simply begin again at 12. Just focus on your breathing, breathing in and out. Breathing in
and out. Now slowly begin to bring your attention back into your breath. Just focus on your breathing, breathing in and out. Begin to bring attention back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers, your toes. You can gently turn your head from side to side. Taking your time, moving and stretching. Anything that feels right. Maybe rotating your wrists and ankles. Before bringing your knees in towards your chest for a little hug. And then gently rolling to one side. Pausing for a moment, taking a breath. And then slowly making your way up to a seated pose. With your eyes closed or softly gazing. Just take a moment here. Notice how you're feeling. Know you can find your way to peace and well-being by concentrating on your breath, being in the present moment. And then we'll bring our hands together in prayer position at heart center. The light and love in me honors the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a happy Easter. And be sure to check Human Breathing Yoga Studio's Facebook page for their schedule of more live streaming classes. Thank you.